Wow, are we unmuted? Are we live? Oh, we're live. We're live, guys. Hello.
Hi.
We're live. Hi. Hello. So, episode 198, right? 2 off the 200.
Damn.
2 off the 200. Been doing this for so long. So, to get this started, because we did one last week. We took like a 3-week break or whatever the goal was. It's like getting this together. So tonight we have the lovely Katie on. Katie Banham, right?
Katie Bandarian.
Bandarian. I'm so sorry.
I thought you were saying Banham as a joke. That's so funny.
No, my bad.
No, it's all good.
My bad. But, so you're a DJ?
Yes.
You've been DJing for how long now?
So July 2024, I believe, will be 4 years because my first one was in July 2020.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. So.
It's called Defo Not a Doof.
And so what got you into music and like that? Let's start from right at the beginning, like with every episode.
Always been into music, but more so like the music I used to listen to growing up wasn't very underground. It was a lot of mainstream music and what like my mum listened to.
Like how old were you when you were listening to like the mainstream kind of stuff?
I didn't start doofing until 10 years ago. So
yeah.
Before that it literally was like what was on the radio, and then like my mum listened to George Michael, Jamiroquai, all the real like
kind of
it's given queer disco, you know.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, like wasn't really a lot of besides mainstream. But then when I started doofing, there was bits and bobs where I'd pick up a couple of songs, but there wasn't a lot of like house and like bass house, tech house out bush for a really long time.
But what got you into doofing? Like, what was your entrance into the doof world?
A really close friend of mine, the one who's actually in labour tonight.
Oh, really?
Yes, Nikita. She's
Congratulations,
the one. Yep.
Nikita.
Go, Nikita, you got a queen. She is the one who actually got me into doofing because she was like, I think you will absolutely love this. Like, I think you'll absolutely adore this. So, yeah, I went and it was I think it was Teddy Bear's Picnic or something like that, and it blew me away. I didn't even know that.
Just quickly, so I forgot to do this, but Ash is also sitting here. So
Stick your head in, Ash.
Say hi. Yeah, just
she's the other half of my brain cell for tonight.
Yeah.
When the tisms kick in, that's going to be the backup.
No, very nice. But then, so like, what was your introduction to doof? Like, what doof did you go to? Like,
I think it was the Teddy Bear's Picnic, but also it's probably just the one my brain can remember.
Is that on Facebook or anything like that? Can we pull that up?
I mean, maybe, but
it's a while ago.
It was a really long time ago.
10 years ago, you said.
Yeah,
right?
It would have been like 2014, around then, I'm guessing.
But what was it? Like, did a friend just say, do you want to come out to a paddock party? Or?
She just said it's called a bush party, a doof. Yeah, and I was like, what's a doof? And then, we went out, and then I remember she kind of like stepped away from them, but I was still going really regularly. And then, through my whole phase of my life, whether I've been doofing full time or like taking a step back for a few months or a year or whatever and then back into it again, there's always been some form of consistency of doof has been like a huge part of my life.
Yeah, okay.
So particularly with music and stuff. And then the other massive influential part for me for music was actually my friends. So listening to like friends' music and stuff and being like, whoa, what the fuck is that? You know, like
and just like collecting all that knowledge.
Even to this day, like I just came back from Denmark and I was spending time with Josie and Morgan and stuff and Wade, and they had music on. And even to this day, I'm still like, what is that song? That is like, that's phenomenal. I need to add that to my list.
That's such a good way of doing it though, because like, you hear it out and about and you're just like straight away captivated and like, yeah, what
and
is that? Give me that. Like,
I feel like sharing music is really important. I think it's very, very easy to get into the mindset of, I guess, gatekeeping with like your music and personal music. I do understand curating a style and that being like your sound or whatever, but overall inherently being quite gatekeepy about music and not wanting to share it kind of gives me the ick. And I feel like it's much, I don't know, for me personally, I always get a lot more out of sharing and giving music and receiving music than I do by like spending 3 hours searching for music and then feeling brain numb because half of it was
that's
not listenable, you know.
No, that's exactly it. Because like you could be like, we'll dive back to the doofs in a little bit, but like 100%, because you could be in your bed, right, just searching music and listening to the headphones and be at like, you go through 100 different tracks.
It becomes almost chore-like.
Yeah, and you might find 4 or 5 good songs in 100 tracks, but then you go out and you hear your mates play a song, you're like,
it's banger after banger after banger.
Because they've already found the good stuff. But at the same time, then it helps with your research and like to broaden your horizon, just to figure out like
you can
more stuff that you
from
like.
one good song you can find so much more music, and if someone's giving you such a I don't know what the word is, but like bigger amount of resource of music, that ripple effect, I suppose, is huge. It's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I really appreciate it. There's like very solid people in my life who have been like, yep, here's some 6 songs, thought of you, send it your way. Makes a really big difference. It does.
It's so good when friends send you songs, right? Because then you listen to it and you're like, wow, that's amazing.
Fire. Absolutely fire.
Do you ever find as well, sometimes like, you know, like this has happened to me in the past where people have been like, send me your tracks, so then I'll send them a nice track and they don't listen to it. I'm like, and then they hear it out and I'm like, I told you about this.
I won't lie. But I'm also that person half the time because I'm really bad at checking my messages.
No, I'm the same as
well.
So
I'm a good 50-50 of that. So yeah, I do I definitely get that.
That's it, yeah. And just finding the time as well.
I find that I'm more of an in-person sharer. Like if I'm at like a house party or something, or just at a mate's house and I can see they've got, for example, new decks, or they started DJing, or they're just getting to listen to different music. I have like a big hard drive and I'll be like, give me your laptop. Do you have another hard drive? Where's your music? I'm giving you music. And that was cool because recently my friend Marco, he actually did the same to me. He's like, I got a hard drive. Where's your laptop? Gave all this music and I was like, sick. Like, yeah. And because he's German, it was a completely different style of music to what I've listened to.
That's amazing. What I love about it. There's so much culture in music, right?
So much culture.
Like if you compare German techno to Australian techno,
phenomenally different.
Or like English techno, it's so different. Yeah.
Really cool.
With the bush stuff, so what was your first bush stuff like? How long did it go for? Like teddy bears?
I believe it was a one-night party, but it wasn't long after that friend group. We used to go really regularly. Yeah.
But like how regular? Like once a month?
I'd say like once a fortnight. There was a good period there, and then me and Nikki, for a while, we would go every weekend without fail.
And there was always parties on every weekend.
Oh yeah, for like I feel like. When I started doofing, I feel like there was a lot more random little parties, whether it was at the Pines, whether it was at like up Bandarian Way or Armidale Way. Like now I don't find we doof as much up. I think it's like Great Northern Bandarian Ways basically. Yeah. I think that's because of ranges or whatever. But when I first started, because I lived up in Mount Helena, it was like a 35-minute drive to the doof. It was wicked. It was awesome. Yeah. And then we just drive back through streets as well, so we didn't have to go on the main road.
Some doofs like 3 hours away or something like that, or 2 hours away? Or
I mean, yeah, so there's doofs that are held up in like there was the Southwest doof. I think they're called like Earth something. I can't think of the name.
Oh, like Earth Core or something?
Something like that. Yeah, okay, but they throw doofs up. My nose is itchy. Oh my God. So, like up that way. And then there's like parties that are near... Oh my goodness.
Like 2J and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, but like even further up, like you go to more Esperance and stuff like that. There'll be another crew that throws stuff up there. Yeah. I do find the smaller parties you got to know the crews a little bit better. They're a little bit more like
closed circuit.
Yeah, I guess careful with who they've invited and stuff. But yeah, when I first started doing, like maybe it was just because it was a lot easier to throw parties. It wasn't, I guess, so heavily monitored, whether it was by police rangers or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, even...
But does that happen often, though, where, like, cops will rock up and shut up a bush doof down?
I feel like it goes through phases. Like, I feel like it definitely goes through, you know...
I love this. Ash is just sitting there just like,
like with the COVID and stuff. I feel like there was definitely a time where there was, like, I don't know, maybe parties got too big for a bit or whatever, and then the cops would crack down. Or maybe a big incident would happen and the cops would crack down. But I feel like it's... Because, like, in my experience, a lot of the community is really respectful. Even when police rock up, it's not like... I mean, I've even been to, like, beach raves or parties and stuff. Like, the city, whatever, you know what happens in the city. That's just its own thing.
The city is the city.
The city is the city. But, like, even at beach raves, it's got, like, a 50-50 feeling of, the community. But if shit goes wrong, you can feel the, like, almost that city hecticness. I feel like at Bush, when stuff went wrong or cops rocked up, it's not this big, like, oh, fuck the cops or anything. It's none of that. It's like, oh, cops are here. You know, just, hi, just, cops are here letting you know. And it was that same kind of mutual respect.
That's good, though. That's really good. Because I can imagine that'd be quite traumatizing for some people if they go out bush and it's like the cops rock up. Yeah. And it's like if they've never experienced the cops rocking up, they're like,
honestly,
start panicking.
The most confronting experience I ever had with police and partying wasn't at bush. Like, I've had a few parties where cops rocked up, but again, it's not... They're not coming in to be like, oh, big and scary. They respect us the same way we're respecting them. Yeah. I was at a beach rave in Frio, and they brought the full riot police down.
Really? Was that Port Beach or?
Woodman Point, okay. I'm pretty sure. I think it's on that whole
They brought the riot squad, like dogs as well.
Like there was police on horses. There was the big massive van and like cops coming out of it, and they all had the big black, the chunky
vests,
and they had the spotlights going. You must disperse. That for me was like, this is scary.
Yeah,
that's never happened out bush in my experience. And maybe there's other people would say differently, but
yeah, it's too far for them to get up.
I feel like the difference of that exposure is two different things. Like that for me, I was like, I never want to be in that position again. Whereas when I'm out bush, the thoughts of cops rocking up is like, oh, if it happens, it happens. It's not like, oh my God, it'll be really scary. So yeah, that's something I really appreciate about the Doof scene, because it kind of just shows that like, even though the cops are coming out because doing the wrong thing, they're also not coming out to be like, you guys are in trouble. Whereas it's not when you're in the city, when you're at the beach raves and stuff, if the cops do shut it down, it feels a lot more like, you know.
But most bush doofs are held on private property as well, right?
No.
Oh, really? They can be in national parks and everything?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because that's why they'll say...
But they've got like almost all bush doofs have that no trace thing, right?
Yeah, a massive part of it is like you leave no trace. If not, leave it better than you when you even rocked up.
Yeah. It's called Plur, isn't it, or something?
So Plur is actually from like the more rave scene. Like I've never really personally known a lot of doofers to use Plur.
Okay.
Like when I say they don't use Plur, I mean they don't use the term Plur, but them saying leave no trace, no aggro, that is their Plur. They just don't say the word. I'm guessing it's because of like, you know, when like a new scene comes in and then you don't do the other stuff because that stuff's not cool.
Yeah.
It's probably something to do with that. But I definitely think that same ethos is within the Doof scene. Like I just don't think people say Plur, but they very much will, you know, pick up your nangs. If anyone sees anyone dropping like their nangs on the ground, it's like you pick that up right now. Because
can we try and find it? But I remember seeing something that's like in Europe, they full on crack down on it because there's just so much litter. Yeah. And there's so many nangs everywhere. And
the balloon cases everywhere and stuff. Yeah.
And it's just terrible in a way because they're just not looking after the place. People
are pretty good and pretty on it. And I will say some crews a lot better than other crews. The majority of crews are pretty good. But yeah, so...
But then, so with bush doofs, so like, how does it usually run? Because like I've been told sometimes it's like a 3-day festival thing, like
1 night, weekend. 2 nights, 3 nights if it's a public holiday.
Yep. But it's like they just rock up with speakers in the bush, connect them all up
to a Jenny.
And then to a generator.
They'll have a DJ list prep, set list prepped. They'll have sometimes flow performance.
Yep.
Decorations, lights, lasers.
Yeah.
Artwork. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And it's pretty like, and the doofs will range from like a little like yeehaw pull together one where it's like a gazebo and a couple of fairy lights and a speaker, or there'll be like festival level where you rock up and you're like, how is this happening out bush? Like, how is this? How is this illegal, non? I know it's organised, but like not how. Like,
so that's the thing, because they are classed as illegal though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
At the same time though, it's all condensed. It's all like within the boundaries. It's all safe. It's all looked after. So it ticks all the boxes technically.
From what I've gathered through my time of doing the tings is that so certain parties won't actually get shut down even if cops rock up because there's too many people to make it a safe way of shutting down.
Okay.
And I think, again, don't quote me, but I think if cops can see, look, everyone's pretty fucking doing the right thing and not being aggressive, they're chill with it.
Yeah.
I feel like the only times, you know, it's really one of those things where it's like, nah, like this is not okay, is when it's gotten too big, or like, I don't know, disregard of like maybe like the locals around the area or little things like that.
Yeah.
Maybe throwing a party too many times in one certain location, just things like that.
Yeah, hot spots and stuff like that. Yeah. But then, so like, how many bush doofs do you reckon you've been to in total so far?
I literally couldn't give you a number.
It's too many, right?
But like I said, you know how I said I'd go through like phases where I'd go really regularly and then I'd like kind of drop off for a few months and then go back into it.
Yeah.
If I'm going regularly, I'm going every single weekend to every single party there is. Even if there's like multiple parties in a weekend, if I'm getting booked for them DJing, I'm going to all of them.
Yeah.
But then when I step back from it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'm taking a step back from a bit.
Yeah.
And also the more you... I feel like the only downfall about Doof, it's probably the same with any community, is the closer and more connected you get into the crews and this and that, the more drama, the more stuff that comes with it, which kind of takes away some of the funness of it all. And sometimes you just want to be a punter.
But that's it. There's drama everywhere in everything.
I think it's just
really
going like
it just happens.
Yeah, I think it's also kind of putting on your like work DJ hat or your crew hat, or going, nah, this is my punter hat. Like this weekend, no one speak to me. I don't even know my own name this weekend. You know. Gremlin it up.
So that's one thing I want to dive into as well.
City?
Yeah, so what is a gremlin?
So a gremlin
I've heard it so often. I've never heard of it until
I
we
love how
started
a lot
hanging
of
out.
men don't know what a gremlin is, but if you say to any female, "Oi, you gremlin," a chick will know what's up.
Yeah.
I feel like with women, like you say, "You gremlin," and they know. That it means like I can hold myself.
Can we Google gremlin? Like,
yes.
like what a photo of a gremlin
But
is.
I feel like you'd have to write gremlin like midterm.
Gizmo.
Yeah, you know the little things that get wet and they're all like. That's a gremlin.
Like the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, okay, I get you. So
that's when you're looking at us, you're like, oh my God, what a cute female. I just want you to know that at any moment, we can be like that.
At any moment.
Any moment. We just a little bit of spritz of water.
I'm learning more and more about girls every day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And
yeah, okay. So then what defines a gremlin? Because I mean, it's
basically,
like soft and fluffy too.
Yeah, basically, like you want to look like a bad bitch, feel like a bad bitch, but I also want you to see. I want you to see you so munted and also so like covered in dirt, farting, burping, just feral. You know what I mean? Like a feral animal.
You're facing me. Don't fart on me.
I was gonna say, please let one rip.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna let one rip then.
Honestly, the little toesies too. Little foothold. But yeah, Oxford Dictionary.
Yeah, there we go.
Gremlin.
Can we read that out? So what a gremlin is originally RAF slang in early use to lowly or despised person or menial, a dog's body, a wretch, later a mischievous sprite imagined as the cause of mishap to aircraft. Okay.
That was a really interesting definition, but I'm fucking there for it. I won't lie.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So then,
I feel like it's just like to be a gremlin is just to inherently be just so okay with not giving a fuck what people think about you.
That's a good thing.
And particularly when I'm out with my girlies, like I'm a gremlin anyway. I feel when I'm like driving around by myself, the grem comes out. But when I'm with the girlies, ooh, does the grem come out? Like it's like, all right, Grem City, let's fucking strap in.
The term for gremlin sort of like had its peak around like World War I and II, like when aircraft would sort of go wrong, like oh, these gremlins are in the aircraft. And obviously, it's been construed to go like you feed a girl after midnight and get a like water.
Feed her after midnight. Yes,
so
yes.
That's the rules then.
But then, so then, okay, I see, yeah.
Yes, now we're talking.
But then, so
Gremlin.
with the bush stuff, so then, like, when after your first bush stuff, that's when you realize, like, this is my
ting. This like
your
it literally,
culture, right? Like,
it like changed my brain chemistry and changed my makeup as a human. Like,
but that's a great thing because that's like I've been
phenomenal.
told like Blazing Swan.
Yes,
I've been told it's like
absolutely.
you go to Blazing Swan and
Changes
it just
you.
It makes you rethink everything.
Everything, and it makes you relook at like everything around you, the way that we act day to day, like. All those things.
But then, so like, you started going to bush stuffs quite often,
Yep.
right? But then, like, how did the music come into it? How did the DJing get involved? Did you just kind of like go like, that looks like fun, I want to get involved? Or
Nah, so a human in the time of my life actually showed me how to DJ, and then Kelsey Cat Olin. She's one of the big like female bush stuff DJs. She's gone around all of Australia and stuff.
Is she from Perth as well?
Yeah, man, she's...
Yeah. Hit me up.
Olin, I would
up,
highly recommend Olin, Kelsey Cat. Check her out.
Has she got an Instagram we can pull up to promote? Or?
Maybe go Facebook, but I don't know about Insta, but definitely Facebook. And she's on SoundCloud too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing, and I actually asked her, look, I'm learning to DJ, but I don't, because I'm autistic, I really struggle with the whole like the performance side of the DJ thing, and like the making eye contact and connecting with the crowd. That actually makes me want to just like let the ground swallow me up. That is the worst part of DJing.
It can be so fearful.
The only time I've ever felt like, yeah, I can do this is when I'm so drunk, but then I'm not DJing that good. It's just not. It's not a good like payoff.
Oh, have you found it? Can you send it in the group chat if that's right?
But yeah, she actually taught me and gave me that confidence to like, well, you don't need to perform, Katie. As long as you are confident in like yourself on stage, that can be your thing. You don't actually need to do the whole like I'm a DJ thing. You can
that's
just,
it. Yeah,
you can just groove up there. As soon as she said that to me, that changed my chemistry. I was like, okay. So like now every now and then I'll be like, oh, maybe I need to, I don't know, do the thing more. But I'll literally get people who are like, oh, I love just how you groove up there while you're DJing. So now I'm like, cool. I don't even have to worry about it. That's my thing now, and I'm really grateful for that because
it's a form of art.
Yes, that's her.
That it's a form of art.
Absolutely.
That's what it's like. Have you seen videos of people like they might do slow paintings, or they might do it in private times, or they might do like live things, and might be aggressive art, might be this, it might be that. It can be so dynamic with anything, and it's the same thing with DJing. You could be up there and you could just be focused on the decks playing a really good set. You could be bubbly and jumping around. It can be anything. It's music. It
meant
art.
a lot coming from her because she, as far as I'm aware, she's one of the first like main like female DJs that when I started doing, I was like, oh, there's a female DJ because there wasn't many of them.
And that's her there.
That's her right there,
Yeah, so
Olin.
big shout out to Olin.
Yeah, she and also like a lot of the way that she was, I don't know how to word it, but she very much made me feel totally comfortable, non-judged, anything like that, when I know she definitely wouldn't have had that when she started DJing. So for another female to be like, yep, I want to give you that experience of like, I guess what she didn't have, I just so much mad respect for her because it really, really set the tone of the way that I also wanted to, from there, give anything to anyone in general, regardless of gender, but particularly to women. I feel like it's such there's a missed spot for a lot of women, particularly in the Doof scene. It's getting a lot better now, and so many women are joining in DJing. I think that's freaking awesome.
No, that's good. That's really good.
But yeah, I just like, one of my favorite things is knowing that like, from there is where it started. I think that's really cool.
So what DJ decks did you learn on, and how was it learning how to DJ? Because some people just like look at it and go, this is like a spacecraft. I don't know what to do with it.
So I started DJing on, I can't remember what they're called. Maybe they're like Denons. There's like these. They're like two tiny little. It's like a Pioneer, Pioneer DDJs. I think they're tiny. Literally have like an up and a down fader.
Yeah.
Like a toddler could use it. That was perfect for me. I'm so tismatic that if you give me too many flashing lights, too many buttons, too many instructions,
it is a spacecraft. Then,
it will actually, like, I'm just thinking about it, getting forehead sweats. And it was awesome because I learnt the real basics, and then eventually I moved to Tractor.
Tractor all the way.
Tractor's amazing. I love Tractor, and I think, like, as someone who's neurodivergent, I think Tractor's been imperative for me to actually understand how to DJ for a couple of reasons. The way that it's laid out in terms of the visual of it, the colours they use, brilliant. Also, the way that Tractor uses its sync. A lot of people are going to rag on new DJs, old DJs for sync.
So
honestly, if you are a person who gives anyone any shit for using sync, you need to shush, be quiet, and check in on yourself. Because let's be honest here, sync is used, and it's amazing for people who maybe can't access this space off the get-go. I'm telling you right now, there is no way I would have been able to start DJing if I was expected to beat match, learn the program, learn this, learn the music, all off the get-go. I wouldn't have got into it. I would have been overwhelmed and never tried it.
But see, that's it. And that's where it is so ridiculous, because you have so many, like, I don't care about saying this because it is completely ridiculous how many gatekeepers and idiots are out there that are just straight up like sync, quantize, and snap are the demonic things you shouldn't be touching.
I have like this,
and crossfader as well.
Yes.
And it's like it's an instrument.
If you're using it and it works for you, then what's the problem?
That's exactly it.
And I now can use and DJ without sync.
Yeah.
I don't always do it without sync, but the fact that I can, amazing, brilliant, learned a new thing. But I never would have even gotten to that stage if I never was, I guess, even given that permission to use sync. Yeah. I have this core memory of when I first started DJing.
To use sync.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I know it sounds wild, but you gotta. When I first started DJing, I remember one of my first sets. I think it was with I can't remember where it was, but it was in that like basement-y, the sewing room.
Okay, yeah.
And I remember very particular, well-known female DJ was either before or after me.
Yeah.
And I said something to her about, like, it's so cool, like, I'm so honoured to be playing on the same set list as you. And I can't remember how it came up, but she said something about the fact that I was using sync. and that she would never be caught using sync, And I remember this is a core memory.
It's the most stupidest thing
The
ever.
core memory of me standing there, literally idolizing this female DJ and her having to say back, and I'm just looking at her like, "Ooh, you're giving me ick, babe. It's giving me pick me girl, and I don't like it."
Yeah.
And
it's so toxic.
And because it made me feel really uncomfortable, and I didn't tell people I used sync for a long time. And then after a bit, I was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah.
I use sync, and it's been like imperative for the how good of a DJ I am now. That's because I was able to use sync.
And look,
and anyone else should be able to use sync. Press sync, sync.
Yeah. I can
You get a sync.
I can safely say, right, out of my 10 years of DJing, of using sync and quantize and snap, it has opened so many doors of being able to be a good DJ
and learning so much other stuff because your brain's not hyper focused on got to get this beat match right.
But that's exactly it. I mean, sure, if you're using vinyl and you're playing drum and bass or something like that, and you're playing, say, 170 BPM to 180 BPM, yeah, sure, you're going up and down 5 BPM or 10 BPM. It's not a big of a deal because then I guess you can sit there and tweak it just to get the perfect BPM. But when you're playing on a laptop and you can just go, like I was talking to Amy about this last week, if you just double tap sync, so then you just snap your beat grids, like you snap your BPM into the same BPM, right? And then whilst they're playing in sync, you can overlap them, you can juggle songs, you can do this, you can do that. You can take it out of sync, but then you can like speed it back in. But having the BPM snap to the same,
I'm sorry,
you can do
how many times have you
things.
played on someone's like decks, right? And you're like playing like, "Oh, we're using professional Pioneer decks, they're the standard," and they're wanking on about that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How fucking annoying is it when you're like, "Oh, I won't use sync then," and then you're trying to set them to match, but their sensitivities are different, but then you try and change those sensitivities, doesn't work, so you're sitting there like trying to like sacrifice 3 lambs and a goat to try and get this thing to match when I could just press sync. Unbelievable. As someone who's autistic, that level of like extra pressure and stress that you're adding on a human being just to make the beat match is insane to me. And then to like almost be proud of that whole like, "No, I don't use sync. No, we don't use sync yet." Ill.
But see, it's just so stupid because like what I said, like you having that ability just to double tap a button and giving you so much more freedom to do so many other things whilst these songs are playing, overlapping or doing whatever it is, right? To play samples over the top, do this, do that, instead of just trying and get it perfect and then, oh shit, better select another song.
Absolutely.
Like, it just frees up so much time.
And I feel like if you're that worried about people using sync, well, maybe be a better DJ then. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of people using sync because I know I've got like 1,000 more things to learn and I'm really comfortable with that.
But it's so unfortunate. It's like, it's kind of like almost the oldies that are trapped in this thing. And it's the same thing with like how DJs use the volume faders. In all honesty, there's a lot of DJs that use volume faders. It's an instrument. Use it however you want to use it, right? It's not my thing. Go for gold if it's your thing. Absolutely. I don't give a shit. I've actually been made fun of before and like posted in a group chat by an absolute wanker. I'm not naming names. Not naming names or anything like that. But the guy is a clueless idiot. The guy is literally a clueless idiot, and I don't have time for him.
He gets off on the whole ego thing.
That's it. It's
wild.
just it's a hierarchy thing, and he just thinks because he's doing bookings and he's doing this and he's doing that. It's like the hierarchy of the DJ world.
Absolutely.
There should be no one. No.
We should be all trying to help each other and get like better and get good gigs and be supportive of each other when we get good gigs.
And so this is like a good segue into like the equality thing because it's like
that's another thing is I feel like unfortunately a lot of women. Yes, we're getting a lot of women DJs, but I have noticed that some of us get pitted against each other.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't notice it until someone else pointed it out to me, and it wasn't until they pointed it out and explained it I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what it is. We're being pitted against each other. Oh, snap. I don't like that.
Yeah. But it's just stupid. It is absolutely stupid. It's just like how sometimes they have lineups, right? And it'd be like the token girl on it.
Oh, yeah. And the pay difference. Let's get on to the pay difference.
It's ridiculous.
So I straight up right now want to shout out Begsy and Basic.
Yeah.
Those two legends, absolute dons of the dons.
I had Begsy on here forever ago. I really want to get him back on.
Get Begsy Basic, 100%. Those two absolute legends. We're all doofers, right?
Yeah.
I remember there was this significant time that they both came up to me at different points and went, how much are you getting paid? How much do you get paid from this crew? How much do they pay for this? How much is this crew paying you? And I told them this, and they went, right, this is how much we get paid. You've been DJing as long as me. You need to be paid this much.
Yeah.
This crew's paying us this much. You ask for that much. If they don't say yes, we'll back you up.
Yeah, good.
That level of openness, honesty, and communication. I'm getting like chills talking about it. I have such mad respect for them because They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to step up and go, hey, this is wrong. This is not right. But they're one of the main crews that from the get-go I've said, hey, you know, I remember the first gig I ever played for them, one of my friends had an issue with one of the punters there, brought it up with them. They dealt with it the way that I would have never expected. I mean, how old would they have been? Like 20 then, if not younger?
Right, how did they deal with it?
What
happened though?
So someone groped someone.
Yeah,
We told them about it. Now, a lot of the times, unfortunately, even to this day, if something like that happens, you'll get told, we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
What was happening? What's going on? You know, was there things that happened before? Kind of doing the whole, is there something that could excuse this? That's basically what those questions are beforehand. None of that. They went, cool, show us who it was. We went over. And in my head, I was freaking out a little bit because I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, here we go.
I've never been with this crew before. They're young blokes, and they're all like Yanchep boys and stuff. So there's a vibe, you know. Okay.
Yeah, there's a vibe. Yeah.
All right. They went over. I have never seen two young dudes sit and talk to men in such a like, this is what's happening. What you've done is wrong. These are the consequences. That is it.
Perfect. That's the way it should be.
Blew me away because they're young. And since then, I've just backed them. And then the same dudes bringing up the pay differences. To me, huge. That is such a big pivotal moment because, it's all good and well for me to stand there as a female DJ going, equality this, this and that. But unfortunately, the more that you kind of say that stuff, the more you're going to get labelled with the whole like, oh, you know, likes to cause an issue or a bitch or whatever it is. But these two guys bring it up. And because there's that backing of, I know these two dudes are getting paid this, not a question.
Honestly,
not a question.
That is how it should happen in pubs, clubs, everywhere. Where it should be like you get explained.
DJ transparency and honesty, man.
Instead of getting explained, it's like you're being removed because you're intoxicated. It should be like, you're getting removed because we've had complaints that you're filling up girls.
Yes.
This is not on.
Yes.
You should know better.
Yes.
You are old enough to understand that this is not on. And so now you're getting removed from the venue and you cannot come back into this venue until you realise, maybe another week, but if you continue behaving like this, you will be banned. Yeah. That is how it should be laid out because it's not on. I've had to save so many girls. Like, it sounds silly, but to save girls at a bar or a pub or something happening, it's just like, why can't these guys use common sense?
Yeah, and I think a really big part of, you know, a lot of this stuff I guess you could call it in a movement and what it is that having people who will call up their friends' bad behaviour is imperative.
It's so good,
you know, having that accountability, and I've noticed particularly with like having it between all of our friend groups. Sure, amazing, brilliant. Actually, watching those like closer bros call each other out and stuff
needs to happen.
Holy crap, the difference it's making, the respect I have, because I understand that feeling of if I say something, this could fuck the whole dynamic up.
Yeah.
To do that and still say the thing, snap.
Well, so I've got a really good story about, like a quick story. Right?
Yeah.
Have I ever told you guys about what happened in Scarborough at all?
No.
So it was just after the lockdowns. Everything was going back to the way it was, right? I was DJing at Scarborough Beach Bars, a 6-hour set, right? Basically what happened was about an hour into the set, these girls rocked up. And so it's like these girls rocked up and they're sitting to the left of me near the entrance, right? And with these girls sitting there, there's probably like 3 of them, 2, 3 of them or whatever, right? It was like 5 years ago. But a group of guys rocked up, 4 or 5 guys. They walked past the girls, and when they walked past the girls, one guy was like full on checking one of them out, right? They went and sat on the right-hand side. They were sitting outside. So after about 15 minutes, right, and they got their drinks and this and that, one of the guys went and tried to sit with the girls. And the girls are like, sorry, not
very clearly given the
just
no
like
thanks.
being polite,
Yep.
being polite, but being like, sorry, not interested, right? And so that was fine. Guy walked back to his group. Then 15 minutes later, 10 minutes later, him and his mate go and try and sit with the girls. So then the girls are like, we told you, go away. So then I alerted security. I was like, keep an eye on this. Like, this shit's going down. Just watch what's going on, right? So then the guys go back, and the guy just doesn't get it, right? And so then the guy moves his whole table of friends, so like 4 or 5 guys, right, to go sit with the girls scull their drinks and leave, right?
Yeah, as you would. You're not going to stick around.
That uncomfortable.
You fuck off.
Yeah, the girls are that uncomfortable. So then when they were walking back, there was one of their friends looking down at the ground like, why do I hang out with these fuckheads? And it's like that discussion needs to happen where it's like, this guy is like, these are my friends.
That one person can obviously tell that's not right.
But what was the worst part about all of it, right, was that when I finished at Scarborough Beach Bar, walked down to the Peach Pit, caught up with a mate, we rolled a cigarette each, right, we walked down the strip to where there's like the hill and the traffic lights are. And so we walked around the corner, I'm not even kidding, those same dudes, right, because they didn't get any girls, didn't get any, like, didn't get laid or whatever the guy was, right, I saw one of those guys, right, grab a guy and throw him against the curb.
Yeah.
And his back hit the curb like that on an angle, and he started screaming out in pain. All the people in the apartments are calling out, saying they're going to call the cops, this and that. Me and my mate just looked at each other like, what the fuck do we do? And we just left because we didn't want to get involved in violence stuff. But they were kicking him on the ground.
Yeah.
But it's like, what headspace are they in to go, these girls rejected this one dude, so then obviously they've had a shit night out or whatever, so they result to violence.
Yeah.
It's like...
It takes
euthanasia's a thing.
It takes a lot of lack of awareness and lack of empathy and care to be like that.
But it's just there needs to be education.
Yeah, and I think a big part of it is societally a lot has been allowed and excused out of just what is society-wise of acceptable and norm.
It shouldn't be acceptable.
No, but unfortunately is the world we live in. But it's also, I believe, changing and...
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, a really integral part of it changing is it's not just, a lot of men are now stepping up and being like, actually, hey, this isn't on.
Yeah.
And I think...
it's such a good thing to see.
It's really good to see. At the same time, it's a bit frustrating as well because it's like, it shouldn't have to take extra people to step up. But if that's what it's going to take and that's what people are doing, then you can't fault it. You cannot fault men standing up and going, hey, this is what's up. Kudos to them. Absolute kudos. And so I've got mad respect for Basic and Begsy because they've done that from the get-go all the way through to the end of DJing, mad respect for them.
That's such a good process, and that should be implemented everywhere.
Yeah, I really believe
the consequences.
In also financial DJ transparency and financial transparency.
Yeah, that's it,
whether it's,
just to be on the same page, on the same level, and just get the same understanding.
Absolutely.
So it's across the board.
Absolutely.
Because that's where it is ridiculous. But then at the same time as well, like with the DJ industry within the city, sometimes what will happen is DJs will undercut other DJs to get more work.
Oh, like in terms of what they charge per hour?
Yeah, what they charge per hour. But then it just lowers the value of what a DJ should be. Yeah. You shouldn't be saying, I'll do it for $40 an hour. No. Just to try and secure that gig, which could lead to securing a contract with
I'd rather match what the boys are getting charged because then, A, I know that the people booking me are booking me because I'm good and they've also got they haven't got screws loose in their head where they're like, oh, boys should be paid more. I don't even know where that comes from.
Yeah, I can't believe that happens in the Bush Doof community, honestly.
Significantly.
That's ridiculous.
And I'm just going to be honest now. Anyone who's listening to this, DJs, get your invoices paid. And if your invoices aren't paid, we need to start being a bit more open and honest with who's not paying invoices. Yeah. Because I'm telling you right now, there is particular people and crews who are telling you, oh, we don't have the money, we don't have this. They do. Yeah. And they're just doing it because you're going to say it's fine, it's okay, whatever, pass it on. You have played, you have been booked, you get your invoices paid.
You are contracting to them,
and if your invoices aren't paid, there's actually a big group of DJs recently, I won't name all names because they might not want to be comfortable with it, but a bunch of us have been really sick of what's been going on with certain pay gaps, not being paid at all, and just getting kind of wanked over, being like, oh, no money, no this. And a bunch of us are at the point where we're like, right, let's create a little mini DJ union of like, how much are you getting paid? Who hasn't paid you? Which crews haven't paid you ever? Which crews have you got X amount of invoices for? All these things, whether it's city, doof, whatever. Because honesty and transparency, that's going to hold everyone to accountability. Yeah. And honestly, 100%. There's a group of us who don't even give a fuck if we don't get booked anymore because of it. It's worth it if it means that, because it's all good and well for us DJs now to start getting paid equally, to get our invoices paid. But there was a couple of us who were like, yeah, but what about the DJs after us? What about the young 18-year-olds who are getting into DJing in the doof scene right now who have that whatever mentality, they also need to know that these things matter for them and that they are absolutely allowed and worthy of getting these things.
That's it.
Because I think that's, a bit of honesty and transparency
It's
goes a really long way. Education is power.
That's it. Education is power.
My mum would be so happy right now.
But that's where it's like things as well, like Lab 6, they do coach you on invoices and how to do this and how to do that.
Yeah.
But I feel like there should be a lot more education.
Yes.
Like, but how, maybe like online side?
I think because that was we were thinking of a Facebook group and something that, you know, any DJ can join. You don't have to be DJing for long. You know, you don't even have to start a DJing. Just something where people can talk. But it's a big thing to kind of get that off the ground and going.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just been a few of us in the different, you know, pockets of all the industries who are just a bit like, oh, this thing, oh wow, that's happening here as well. Oh, this too here. Oh, they haven't paid you. Oh, interesting.
But see, like talking about equality as well, just quickly, I just want to do a big shout out to Nikki Bridge.
Oh fuck yeah!
Because honestly, like for Pachamama groups and all the events she throws and everything, just she's got her heart in the right place. She is such a cool chick.
And I think it's really important to mention too that what Nikki does is from such like a wholesome and like integrally pure place when it comes to creating a space where, you know, under what's the word?
Where
underrepresented people can actually step up and get their position. And it's not just like, because here's the thing, there's been a couple of gigs where I've played in my life where I'm like sick, that's a huge opportunity for me, but I kind of feel I'm like, whether it's a token girl thing or whether it's just a one-timer thing. I feel like what Nikki does isn't just a one-timer. She literally lays out a pathway for her DJs so that they can continually keep going. And Nikki always gives a space for you to check back into. I think, what she does is huge. It's fucking huge.
That's it. And that's the way, like, that's what's so great because sometimes, you know, people just get their foot in the door, get one gig, but they don't know where to go from there. Yeah. But to have that network and to be like... Absolutely. Like, not pushed, but like... to have that support to be like, do you want to continue doing this? Well, if you do, talk to this person, and this person, and these are good people, like referring you to other people, basically, other businesses.
And like again, with that open transparency communication thing, Nikki's a great person for that because, you know, if you want to work with someone and you don't know what they're like, whatever, you can ask Nikki. If Nikki doesn't know, Nikki will be able to find someone who does know, who can give you a bit of a rundown on, you know, is it G, is it not G? You know, I think that's, again, really awesome, and it's a real safety thing. I think that's incredible. Yeah.
So what other DJ gigs have you done? Because you've played for Pachamamas, right?
Yeah.
Let's list them off.
Okay. So Pachamamas, like, I mean, all the Doof crews. You got like Home Tree, Twisted Jar.
Can we look all these up? Pretty please.
Mad Hatters.
Which one?
Yeah, but is it
Greg?
Yeah.
Ash is saying something. She hasn't got a mic.
No, I'm trying to think. Jungle Sounds. But I think I've only played like one of theirs. But that's more so because they tend to do it on the sea and stuff, and my van ain't gonna make that. And I need my van. If you know, you know.
But like, did you ever see yourself 10 years ago, 15 years ago, diving into the DJ industry?
Fuck no. Fuck no.
It just happened.
Hell no. No way. And honestly, I think so the first Doof I played, which was the Defo Not a Doof, it was on my birthday, 4th of the 7th, 2020.
Yeah, very nice, yeah.
And it was a joint party with NATO. And he was the one who was like, yeah, no worries, of course you can play a set.
NATO?
Yeah. NATO McLaughlin, I think his name is on Facebook, but I'm not too sure, don't quote me.
That's fair.
But he's a little weapon. Real cool.
Shout out
real
to NATO
cool
if
dude.
he's watching that.
Real cool dude. And
this guy here? Yeah, I think we found him.
Yeah, him.
There we go.
NATO, little weapon.
Big shout out to NATO.
Yeah, so NATO was actually like, oh, you know, you can play a set. I think it was made of NATO and Gaz. And both of them, we're like, oh, what time do you want to play? Now, in my head, because I'm a new DJ, I assume they were going to give me like a daytime slot or whatever. They offered me like it was like 6 till 8 p.m. or 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. on like a Saturday night. So it was sick.
2-hour set as well.
Yeah, 2-hour set for my first set, and it went off. It was like the funnest thing ever. And what's quite funny, my first set is a lot of like real more 80s stuff, like Midas Touch and things like that. A lot of those bangers are in there, because again, I didn't listen at that point. It was just like the start of my music listening journey with more bass house, tech house stuff. So that was...
Yeah, we haven't even dived into that. So what type of music are you into?
So I listen to... I call it BassHouse, but it's actually called Brazilian bass.
Brazilian bass.
That's like where I started off, but now I'm more into
That sounds really cool though.
Yeah, so Brazilian, like whenever anyone asks what is like Brazilian bass to you, I'm like, go listen to Loud Tech. Loud Tech is like, he is Brazilian as can be. All the sounds he has are very like wah,
L-A-O?
like loud and then tech.
Oh, Loud Tech.
Yeah,
and
Loud Tech.
T-E-K? T-C-H?
T-E-C-H.
Yeah,
Yep.
T-C-H. Okay.
Brilliant, really good. There's a couple of songs of his that just sent me, and then so the thing is with a lot of bass house artists is they're one hit wonders. Bless their cotton socks. they do one banger and then they're like, oh yeah, better release shit now. But not Loud Tech. Loud Tech just banger after banger. But yeah, so after I got into Loud Tech, I more went into like I guess like tech house, psychedelic house. And now I just
Psychedelic house?
Yeah, so that's Josie Houseface, the one who got me more into the psychedelic house.
Yeah, okay.
So when we started back to backing together, that was like a whole new shift in my career. I was like, oh, this is like a whole another vibe avenue I've never felt before.
Is psychedelic house kind of like prog side,
Okay,
like
so you know-
trance but slower?
Okay,
Like-
no, it's
No?
more of the noises, not the bass line
Okay.
or the hats or anything, but you know the little noises that come over the top of psychedelic
Yeah, like
music,
synths
like
and stuff, yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
and they're like spaceships, like all those noises.
Yeah, yeah.
That over house.
Yeah.
So she got me into that stuff because I'm not gonna lie. Even though I've doofed a really long time, I've only been able to actually hack listening to psytrance recently.
Really?
Oh yeah,
I'm
really
not surprised though.
Really
Like,
badly
it's
set
so
the tisms
loud.
off. I used to
Yeah.
have to like sit in my car and just like stroke the fairy wall. I used to have this car called Triplantis that was like covered in like
Triplantis?
Yep, it was covered in lights, like different textures, and whenever I just couldn't hack it, I'd be in the car like stroking the wall and stuff. But yeah,
What a name for a car, though.
Triplantis,
That's
man.
sick.
I wonder if you can guess how I named that one.
I wonder.
That should be weird.
But honestly, I'm not surprised though, because like when I went to my first bush stuff and it's progressive psytrance the whole day,
Oh
all
yeah,
night,
and because that's what it
doesn't
used to be
stop.
like. There
Yeah.
used to only be psytrance and
Yeah.
different genres and subgenres of psytrance. I remember there was the one song that literally was like, "Oh, save me, low ra." It's the low run. Whenever that used to come on, I used to be like, breath of fresh air, breathe again. So good.
But then with some of the bush stuffs, like, because I've seen videos where it's like, you know, people go jump around the mud and like,
Yeah.
you know, dive in the
Yeah.
mud. Does that happen
Yeah,
here?
fuck yeah, it does. Absolutely.
That does happen here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's like some of the best parts. Like,
Okay.
there's been doofs where the whole thing has gotten like mudded out and people just are cool with it and they're dancing in the mud.
Look up bush stuff like mud dancing or something like that.
I mean, there was a picture of old mate, is it Chris Best when he's fallen asleep under the DJ decks? That went like worldwide viral and he's like passed out under the decks, like obviously cooked off his chops. And that went full viral. It was beautiful. I feel like that was a real special moment for Perth, you know?
But then like, because you're in the bush and obviously there's like no showers or anything
Oh
like that.
yeah, you're all stinky as fuck, but
Yeah.
you can't even smell
So
or
that's
tell
where
that you're
it's like
stinky because
full
everyone smells.
gremlin mode.
Full
right?
gremlin mode.
yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm
Just think,
getting
if you
it.
need to go to the toilet, you gotta do the tings, and why not do the tings with your other grem girls?
Yeah.
Feels better.
Go have a squat in the bush.
Honestly, wet wipes, you can feel like a brand new bitch after a wet wipe shower, a bit of cold water on your face and neck. New bitch. New bitch.
Very nice.
New costume change. New bitch. There's so many ways to feel fresh and brand new out bush. Yeah, but everyone's just feral on the feet anyway. But then it almost is like, because it's so coated in dust, it's probably even cleaner because there's no sweat little like, what are like a toast cheese between.
Toast cheese?
Toast cheese.
Don't look toe cheese up.
Yeah.
Oh, you can if you want.
My
I
daughter
guess. I
really
don't
likes
know.
to smell a cheesy
No,
feet.
right now.
Yeah, he's looking it up right now.
Yeah, well, think about it. The dirt's sucking up the cheese toes, cheese.
Toes cheese.
Sucking up the
yeah.
sweat.
Cheese toes, yeah. Cheese toes.
That's my daughter's favourite
Oh,
thing,
wow,
you know?
they actually looked, oh,
She loves
yuck.
it. Don't show us.
I don't think
fuck.
they are showing on the thing. It's all.
I meant
No,
show
I don't wanna
us.
see a video. So then when it comes to your sets then, how do you go preparing like a set? Because everyone's got so many
I
different
don't
ways.
prepare.
You don't prepare? You just throw it in a playlist?
The few
or?
times I've ever tried to prepare and actually like sit there and do song after I actually just want to neck myself.
Honestly, I feel the same as well. I don't know if it's because
I'm so ADHD, because I feel like the TISM side of me would love it. It's planned, it's organised. But the ADHD is too strong for that, and I literally am so bored. And then when I try to replay that set live, there is no passion. There is no like, oh yeah, I'm literally like,
so
I hate
you
this.
freestyle
I
them?
freestyle every time.
Yeah, it's the way to do it.
The only time I don't freestyle is when I'll go through my music again and make a extra playlist of like a condensed playlist, but I only really do that like every once or twice a year.
And so is that like just extra songs that you might throw in? Just
when I'm at the point where I'm like, ooh, this playlist is a little bit like, you know, into the thousands. I might need to chill that one out a bit, and then I'll like condense it down to my fresh playlist.
No, that's a good way to do it.
But I try not to do it too regularly, because then I'm like stop using songs.
Yeah.
And a big part of like with my ADHD, if things aren't visibly in front of me, I forget they exist.
Yeah, see, that's what I love about Tractor, because you sit there and scroll, and then you can see all the songs. You're like, I haven't played that one in years. All right, I'll give that a go.
Yeah, big fan of Tractor, honestly. Big fan.
But then, so when you go out to bush tours and stuff, so do you take your Tractor setup?
Yeah.
And do you ever get worried about dust or dirt or anything?
Yeah, well, I mean, my laptop and my decks are fucked. Like, I have,
at least you admit it,
I have to get new ones.
Yeah.
And that's another big thing. If you're going to be DJing regularly, make sure you're getting paid and saving some of that money to buy new decks and stuff, because my decks are chopped to the point where they have a mind of their own.
Yeah, okay.
So you know you've got like your channels, and then there's the faders for those channels.
Yeah.
My channel faders will pretend they're going up and down by themselves.
Yeah.
So I'll be playing a song and it's like, ahaha, JK, I want to turn off now. Or I'll go, and I'll make it like up and down, up and down. So you got to sit there and then flick it like something crazy, and you look like a psycho. It's not great.
That's the art of DJing.
But yeah, they do get covered in dust. I've been told a few times you need to like pull it apart and clean it, but I've been told that about my PlayStation 2, and if anyone thinks I'm pulling that apart, they're crazy. Like, I'm not one of those girlies to be like tinker tanker with teeny tiny parts. I'm gonna break 3 plastic bits and cry. Like, no thanks.
So,
I'll use it until it's in like non-usable, and then I'll go buy a new one.
No, that's fair. That's a good way of doing it.
And also I figured like the last few sets I've been playing that are like bigger sets, they've been with Pioneers anyway.
So how do you find like going from Tractor to Pioneer then?
Look, I do it.
Yeah.
I do it.
It's just not preferred though.
I don't like it. I do it very sourly. Definitely, there is a lot of sass to it. Like, every time I even see a Pioneer, I'm like, hi. Yeah, I guess you're bougie and expensive. And yes, your knobs feel really nice. And yes, your buttons are smooth. Yes, but also, what a wank. I'm sorry. I know it's industry standard, but you expect me to have like $5,000 worth of industry standard at home to practice on?
5,000, 13,000 for a brand new 3,000 setup.
Sorry, take that back. Scratch the 5,000.
Yeah, that's it. You can
13,
buy
that actually just
a nice car for 13 grand.
13 grand?
Yeah, look it up.
That's a holiday. That's a fucking pack of Winnie Blues.
That's what's so silly. It's like CDJ 3000s are like 4 grand, 3.5 brand new.
Imagine telling people like, yeah, you should just go get a Pioneer.
Yeah,
like
no,
a
look
full
at that.
Setup.
5 grand. There you go. 5.8.
Yeah, I've got like $28 in my account.
15 for a full setup from DJ City. That's a nice car.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, I do switch between. I think it's, you got to learn how to do both, because yes, it is the industry standard, but as very leftist as I am, and very fuck the system as I am, it will never change as the industry standard unless everyone else starts pushing against it. Fuck Pioneer.
That won't happen though. They're everywhere.
Oh my god! But imagine this one club's open and they're like, oh, you know what? We're not Tractor Club. We're not Pioneer Club. We're the Tractor Club, and they only have like full Tractor setup. I'd play at that club every day. Every day.
Every day?
Every day. Oh, you want someone? Every day. You want me to play the randomest set ever? Every day. A Tractor setup. Oh. Actually got me too excited thinking about that. Yep.
So what are some gigs that you've always wanted to play at? Like on your bucket list almost? Like if you could play anywhere. Not so much like around the world, because everyone's always like, I'd love to play at Tomorrowland.
Well, this is actually something I like. It's kind of subtract off that, but like, people ask me, what is your end dream of like, I've made it? Yeah, it's playing at the big festival, sure, but really, me going, yeah, I fucking made it, was imagine being at like an afters party and you're playing with like Carl Cox and Shapeless, and they come over and they're like, whoa, 6 skills.
Yeah,
fucking, you know what? Done. Made it. I've made it. Fucking signed, still delivered. Honestly, I find that a really tricky question, because any anything that I haven't done yet is massive for me. So like, you know, it could be like something like esoteric. It could be something like Shambhala. It could be something like a little bush doof over in, you know, New South Wales. I find them like equally comparative. They're both as like, oh wow, that'd be like iconic for me. So I don't specifically have one thing that's like an iconic, yeah, I want to do that. But like, I guess I constantly want to do new things, and I always want to try new experiences and stuff that really puts me out of my comfort zone. Yeah. Because I find that definitely helps me grow in terms of playing in bigger crowds. Honestly, that's a massive thing for me. I get really... The more crowd there is, the more I get, yeah.
So see, I honestly recommend that to any DJ that's starting out, is throw yourself in the deep end. Yeah. And go do these gigs at different venues you've never been to and things you've never done. Definitely. And stuff like that, because then eventually you get over that hurdle. Yes. But it's so much fun and you learn. And it also shows you what you really want to do and what you really don't want to do. That is exactly. Like for me personally, I'm not a request girly. I've tried doing house parties and birthday parties. I'm not a request girly because I actually get really upset when people interrupt me when I'm DJing, because it turns out that's one of my like stimming flow states, so it like interrupts that. So for me, I'm like, that's not my thing. Yeah. Whereas when I first started, I did try a lot of different stuff because I wanted to know, like, do I like it or not? And it was really cool because I found out quickly whether I was like, super into that or like, nah, not into that. That's it. But that's where you find the balance. It's like with commercial DJing as well. Like, I don't like doing functions or weddings. Yep. Just hands down, just don't like doing it. Not your thing. Yeah, because I have to take speakers, I have to set up the speakers, I have to do emceeing, which I absolutely hate. Yeah. And then also like, I have to play, like I play requests. Yeah. I openly say that. I'll buy the song on the night. But then playing like, you know, if I'm doing a wedding and the bride gives me a list of 200 songs, which has happened in the past, and I have to play 1 to 200, it's like, why are you paying me? Just plug your phone in. You should have just done a Spotify playlist, babes. Yeah. But that's it. But it's like... But finding what you want and don't want is really important. That's exactly... It's very, very important. So have you ever... Because we pulled up Esoteric. Esoteric, Have you ever been to Esoteric at all? No, I haven't. I'd really love to go, though. After Ewan's been... I'd love to go. It looks so amazing. It looks like a lot of fun. I have a feeling it's like we should all just organise a big yes, thing. Please. That'd be great. Yeah, that's from money. Ash was just doing this. Yeah, look, I just pretended I didn't see that. He was just ignore that bit. Like pins, like that's it. Surely the money will just materialise. Have you ever had anything gone like a little bit haywire when you've played a set? Oh, fuck yeah. I've had some very questionable things happen. Because, I mean, you've said before, it's like, you know, your control might be spasming. Oh, that's nothing. I had a fucking cooked guy come running up during my set. I'm pretty sure he was butt naked, and he slammed down, like, on the DJ side, came over and slammed down on the decks going, stop! I have never been so unsure of what the fuck is happening in my life. I was like, have I been spiked? Am I losing it? Am I having a stroke? And then all of a sudden I saw the guys moving in, and like I was like, oh no, that's really happening. I think I just kept playing. There we go. I did just keep playing. The faraway stare. Yeah. So when the tisms really kick in, I get the full just dissociated. Yeah. But at least I still did the thing. Just like trying to process like, what the fuck's going on. No, that would have been so interesting. Yeah, and because it's like, I'm pretty sure that was like during more the middle of the night set. And it's just a naked dude. And just like, stop the music. Chopper McGee naked dude. He was on another planet. Yeah. It was storming. It was a storming set. And old mate probably felt the vibes a little bit too much. He's just having a great time. I don't think he was having a good time, hey. I think he was having a not okay time, but glad he sorted that out, I guess. But yeah, they did the tings. Like I said, they did the tings. But what about any other like good stories about bush dogs? Like any of the fun things and also stuff like that? Everything. I mean, majority of every set I've ever played out bush is spectacular and phenomenal for different reasons. So there's been sets I've played where there's no one on the dance floor, and it's like a sunrise set, and it's been the most like I've just felt like all this like energy shift and within myself, whatever it is. Or the sets where you're like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, this is balls to the wall, the coolest thing ever, because it, you know, stereotypical feels cool. It's like a dark set, all the groovers are there, everyone's like storming on down. Love those too, but there's so many different, I guess, emotions and feelings and energies you can get off when you play these sets, and I think that's really special, and I feel like that really comes through out bush more so than, you know, at the club parties, the
the festivals and stuff. There's something quite special about
That's
that
it.
at Doof.
That's what I've been told by like everyone I've talked to about bush doofs and stuff on the podcast. Right? They've told me it's like you know, like say everyone's there to hang out and be together.
Yeah.
Whilst when you go to a nightclub, you don't really know anyone. You just kind of join in on that. Oh, I don't want to say sheep, but at the same time, it's like everyone's there dancing, having a good time. They're in that zone. But then when you go to a bush doof, it seems like everyone's just like, oh, how's your night been?
So
You
in
having
my
a good time?
experience, out bush, if you're on the dance floor, you're there to dance.
Yeah.
In the clubs, in anything but not bush doof, if you're on the dance floor, you're either there to dance, you're either there to pick up, you're either there to fucking stroke your ego, you're either there to message your mate on the phone or take some like sick photos. I can't stand that. The dance floor is for dancing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, get the fuck off. All right? You can go hang out with your mates on the side. Dance floor's for dancing. And I feel like Doof really resonates with that. If you're on the dance floor, you're grooving.
Yeah.
You're having the fucking fattest time ever. It's sick. And then when it comes to like the hangout side of things, I feel like at Bush, like you have everyone in their camps, right? And everyone kind of camps together. But the act of popping over to this camp or this camp or this camp, everyone does it. So it's really communal in the sense of that you will literally have your own space, your own camp, your spot, but you will very comfortably have other people into your space and you'll go into other people's spaces and it's really welcomed and very open and non-like, what are you doing here? Some festivals don't have that vibe. You know, when you go to a club, you don't really have that vibe. You can't, there's only X amount of percentage of people you're going to be able to walk over and just start vibing with. At Bush, you could literally be in the worst state. You'll go into a camp and people have got your back. If you're just feeling a little bit weird and you can't even communicate that and you just go sit down somewhere, as long as you're not hurting other people or causing an issue, people have got your back at Bush. They won't even know your name and they'll just make sure you're good. They'll keep an eye on you.
That's
like,
really
it's
good.
really good. I really vouch for the community there. Because phenomenal.
That's where I can imagine, because like from what I've been told, there's like a lot of substances that go
absolutely.
in and out of bush doofs and stuff. But at the same time, it's like if you are feeling out of place and like maybe you did have, I don't know, a bad tab of acid or a bad pill or something like that, having people that care and are there to look after you and is such a good thing.
There's regularly, like, out bush, there'll be...
it's like rangers or something?
Yeah, depending on the crew. Like, for a while, there was a crew I was part of way back when I started called Cactus Crew. Okay. They would, like, keep an eye out for anyone who was getting a bit cactus.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
a bit prickly.
And then there was... I feel like they were, like... the Care Bears or the rain, like they had these bright coloured like vests or shirts on or something like that. And then for a while there was maybe lanyards or something. Then there was like vests. Like there was always, whether it's a first aid zone or a check-in zone, I feel like there's always something that one of the crews will go, hey, we need to do this to make it extra safe or whatever. Yeah. And I know I got a lot of respect for that because like
that's so
that
good.
Doesn't really happen even in club scenes and stuff where
no, because the security can be dickheads.
Yeah, even in the like super queer spaces I've been to, it can still be that vibe of like, oh,
I will never forget. I can never forget this, but I don't care about naming the place. It's the Lookout, right? I've finished at the Peach Pit, and I've walked past the Lookout, and I've seen a security guard throw someone down those stairs.
Yes.
It's like, sure, they might have been fucking around the club, but to throw them down like 15 concrete steps, that's how you die.
Yeah.
That's how you get really fucked up.
I think a lot of it is so based off ego and making themselves feel good and strong by putting other people down. Yeah, that whole like, power dynamic gives really big ick.
But then to have rangers where they are just like, they're just making sure everyone
That's
is
why
okay.
Blazing Swan's so cool because their rangers are done on a different level. The rangering they do there is on steroids. It's phenomenal. It's so good. Blossom, they do rangering as well. And I feel like they've done it really well.
Yeah, I've been to Blossom before.
Yeah,
so
big
much
fan
fun.
of Blossom.
Yeah,
big fan.
Those guys are doing so well.
They're doing Bush Magic this year.
Bush Magic?
Bush Magic!
What's Bush Magic?
That's the theme of Blossom this year.
Oh, really?
Bush Magic!
Okay.
It's like Katie's wet dream. I'm so excited. Grabs Unite.
Okay. It's under construction.
Look on the Facky book side. Facky book. I'll take one Facky book, please.
Have you ever thought...
Look at that. Look how pretty that looks.
Bush Magic,
the kookaburras, the fucking... the red flower. the Australian red flower. What is it called? Yeah, I think it's Protea. Banksia.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, actually, I want to get those guys back
How pretty
on.
does that look?
Like, for what they're doing for the Perth
Sick.
scene, it's
Sick.
amazing. So good.
Blossom's awesome.
Yeah, really good crew. So then, with your music as well, have you ever looked at getting into production or anything like that? Or
I actually want to start doing that this year.
It's a whole different can of worms.
So
though.
I've had a few friends show me like computer programs. Had one friend, the Marco guy, show me a Digitech synthesizer thing.
Okay.
Which I liked more than the computer, because the computer to me actually just set me off. Like, I don't know if it's the tisms or the ADHD. The fact that it's like all laid like this, broken down, individual, listen to the sounds, same noise again and again, set me off.
Yeah.
Couldn't hack it. The Digitech though, like, there's like a pre-program. I'm not very good at explaining it because I've had like 2 lessons, but there's like pre-programs of like a loop of a bass.
Like
thingy.
samples or something. Yeah.
And you can either make those sounds yourself or have them preloaded. So I have the preloaded ones. And then from there, you can understand how to make like a basic track. So like on that, he showed me, okay, this is like the kick and then the snare, or this is this and this. And then I was able to understand it a lot better than on a computer, because I think it's more tangible with the button pressing and stuff.
That's it. I find honestly
it's really overwhelming.
So like for me, I spent 4 years trying to learn production, and I learned FL Studio back to front, inside and out. Obviously, there's still so much more to learn to it. But I found that it's like when you're actually playing with the hardware, things like that, synthesizers, keyboards, it's just so much more fun.
Being
involving.
able to press buttons make me want to do it.
That's exactly it.
Pressing a mouse like this, hearing a sound go, doo, doo, doo. I'm actually going to fucking lose it. I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
Like when I'm bless his cotton socks, but there was a guy I was seeing for a little bit, and he was like showing me how to produce, and it was cool at first, but then he got hyper focused on this one noise, and I actually was sitting in his room like I'm going to go fucking insane, because it was this one noise just like dee dee dee. I'm a loser, and because I know in his brain he was like, oh, this sounds so good, I'm going to get it down.
Yeah.
In my brain I was like, I feel like I'm listening to Alarm, and my ADHD is going to kill it. Kill the alarm.
See, I can't wait. So in about, I think maybe like 4 months or something like that, 3-4 months, we're actually turning one of our rooms into a proper studio. And so I've got all the equipment for it. You and my roommate, Mr. E-Putty, got to do a shout out to
Mr. Bootstrap,
the putty master. So he's got all these synthesizers and stuff like that, whilst I've got the monitors, the speakers, the whole lot.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And we're going to turn it into a proper studio, so we can literally all just sit in there and play with alarm sounds.
I would love that. I'll fly on the wall, but I'll make sure I have my noise cancelling headphones too. We'll have the TISM protectors.
But see, I reckon it's going to be so good, because then we can just like all catch up, hang out, and then just
So cool.
sit there and just try and make a song together or shit like that.
Except we'd all have to we'll have to agree on a genre, which I think would be hilarious in itself.
That would be so funny. There's like house music, no hardstyle, no techno.
Deep dubby wubbies.
Yeah, deep dubby wubbies.
Ashley's like, please, frothing for it.
So then, what have you got planned for the future for your music career, and like?
So I've got.
What would you like to do within the industry?
So I've actually taken quite a big step back from a lot of stuff at the moment. Life just be really lifing right now.
That's fair, yeah.
Really overwhelming, just with like the real life stuff, hard stuff. So just trying to focus on a lot of that. But ideally this year, I'd like to. I've got Blazing Swan. I've got the last Halloween for Mad Hatters, which is really sad, but also really happy because they're going to do like other stuff and go and do other things.
So Mad Hatters is stopping?
Yeah, they're stopping Halloween.
Okay.
I believe Mad Hatters, I don't know if they're turning into a different name, or if they're Mad Hatters is now going to throw a party called Helix, or if they're Mad Hatters is turning into Helix. I don't know, but
no, that's fair, yep.
So
but that's what happens though. It's like
evolution.
Habitat, evolution.
Yes,
there's so many different groups that have been doing it for years, and then now that's like, they're just onto bigger and better things.
And like Twisted Jars last year as well.
Yeah. Really? Twisted Jars stopping as well?
Yeah, this is their last year.
Lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big crews, switching some things up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I've got some big events, and I feel like they're quite almost symbolic and very like finalizing of like certain phases and shifts. But trying to think what else. I would like to apply for like some hell random, like, you know how they do like the random like shots for like minor DJs for like the big festivals and stuff. I'd love to apply for some of those and like see if I could randomly get one of those.
Well, you never know. You miss every shot you don't take.
Yes, yeah, but I also don't want to do any of that probably until like the end of this year because I got a lot of heavy life stuff on right now.
But see, that's it, and that's what a lot of people don't realise. It's like the balance.
Oh yeah,
the work-life balance. You always got to have that.
You have to.
And like, if you've got families, you got this, you got that. It's like you can't just go.
And my kid's always going to be put first. So
that's completely fair. That's
little
good
weapon.
Like,
Thanks.
That's it.
I hope so.
Do you ever go out to bush doves and take your?
I've taken her a couple times. Yeah. She's actually played a quarter of a set. And by a quarter of a set, I mean she pressed a button and flicked a few knobs, but she did it live in front of people.
That's awesome.
So in my eyes, she's a DJ.
Yeah.
I think she used to be DJ Awesome, but now she's changed her name.
DJ Awesome.
DJ Awesome. It's the way she says it, like DJ Awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Should have known. Cool. I'm sorry. I should have read that one.
That is awesome.
Yeah, she's too cool. But yeah, I do take her out sometimes, but also. Her father has her on the weekends, so generally she's at her dad's.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been to a couple. There was one she went to actually, which was the Brazilian Unification Tribes party. It was really random.
What?
Yeah, last minute. Her dad couldn't have her, so I was like, shit, she's got to come out with me.
Yeah.
And I remember asking a couple of the girls who were out there, like, yo, I'm gonna need you to look after Freya while I play my set. And it was wicked. They had like. Everyone's very inclusive, whether it's...
So is that one of these? Like, let's see if we can find it. No, they'll find it. But, yeah, so how was it? So
that's the crew there.
The Unification?
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the one I took her out to. And she loves it.
Cool.
She loves going, what she calls them, doof doof. She loves doof doof. She loves to party. She loves to have a dance. Particularly now, she's really getting into her dance feels. Like when she dances, she'll look you dead in the eye and be like, do you feel it? I feel it.
So
and
cool.
You're like, yeah, I feel it. I'm feeling it, Freya. Like,
oh, that's amazing.
It's wicked. So I would ideally like to go out with more events with her. Again, going through a lot of family life stuff, so I'm having to.
But that's the thing.
If that stuff turns out, then she'll be able to come out with me.
That'd be good because music is so important.
So important.
Yeah, it's so important.
Yeah.
Just
and she's a big music kid, so I would like to be able to experience that.
Like honestly, for me, right, music has been such an important aspect of my life. I can't imagine a life without it. Honestly, like it is shaped, constructed who I am.
Absolutely.
Just like I can imagine it's the same for you. Same for you as well, Ash. It's like music is so important in everyone's lives, everything. So
I mean, it's like I use it for my day to day, like to focus, to get things done, to relax, to feel. But like it wasn't until I started DJing that I actually got memories back of not being able to sleep unless I had music in my ears. So like I remember being really young and I'd have to fall asleep with music in my ears. Yeah. Otherwise, I couldn't sleep.
No, honestly, I do that. It's like a guilty thing, but
gotta have background noise.
I usually put like light jazz or piano music on or something.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah.
Like very quiet, just to wind me down. And then I also wear one of those granny cover eye things as well.
Oh, that's luxury though.
Yeah,
that's
pitch
luxury.
black, darkness, and just light music, just to just slowly go into my lullaby.
Yeah, no, definitely. If I don't have music or something going on, especially when I'm falling asleep, again. Brain salad.
That's it. Wait, brain salad.
Brain salad. Like all the things your brain could possibly think of. It's like, bitch, let's toss. Let's go.
So what have some of your best sets been? Like, what's one of your funnest favourite sets you've ever done?
Hands down, my funnest favourite set was the set I played with Josie at Twisted Jar. Okay. Josie, aka House Faye.
Okay. I don't think I've ever heard of
Josie we stormed together. I do believe one of the videos or photos I sent you was of the two of us.
Oh yeah, we've got those. Yeah, can you please pull up those videos? I forgot about that.
But yeah, we've
just been having such great yarns.
Doing it with her really brought a whole nother level of like big fuck yeah badass energy and a whole nother groove. There she is.
Oh, so this is it here?
That's me and Josie. And that's literally at the Twisted Jar party too, that one.
So which are you on the left or the right?
I've got the frog hat on.
Oh, you got the frog hat.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Yeah. I was about to say, it's like you had long brown hair.
Yeah, nah. I haven't had brown hair in a very long time. But yeah, so I would say in terms of funness and just pure like love and enjoyment, 100% that set with her. It was groovy. It was pumping. We played for 2 hours. Like blew the house down. All the cool things you could think of. just felt really, really good and wholesome playing with her like that. And yeah, so I would say that's the funnest. In terms of like one of the biggest sets I've played would actually be the Halloween that Mad Hatters did.
Okay.
Fuck, what year was it? It was like one of the last ones they did before they went legal. It's where they had like 3,000 people out this bush Doof. It was huge.
3,000 people.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Do you know how I said when you rock up to a bush Doof and you're like, how is this a bush Doof?
Yeah.
That was the iconic pillar for me. I rocked up to this party and I think it was Halloween 2020, maybe? And we rocked up and it was like, it was this huge hotel, like, you know, the scary haunted houses? One of those for the main stage. And I'm talking like huge, fucking massive, huge, tall, big. The second side stage was this pumpkin, like, oh, it was massive. And I remember pulling up going, oh, this is going to be a big one. Oh, yeah, it was. It was like 3,000 people big. It was massive, massive. And
that's nuts.
I played on the second stage there. Yeah, look, let's just say I was off chops. The vibe was off chops. It was an off chops set. It was sick.
That's so good.
But yeah, like I've had so many good sets. It's really hard to pick out my favorite. Honestly, I generally like, as much as I love the big crowds and the kind of the ego side of it, the sets that actually make me feel the best are the sets where I'm playing on like a little renegade stage or a mini side stage, and it's like, I don't know, either like 8 o'clock or 2 a.m. and it's like too cool for school, and it's just the groovers there. I think that's one of my favorite things, when I can see that the crowd are groovers. Like, they're not just like dancing or chilling, like they're there because they're fucking like, whoo, can't stop dancing. That's the best vibe ever. That's a mood.
Yeah, that's good. Well, that's the way it can be sometimes. Like, sometimes the smaller stages can just be more fun.
They pop off.
Yeah.
Especially the little renegade stages. I'm a big fan for a little like side stage, renegade stage, anything that has that little bit of like what's going on over here? A little bit of sneakiness. We love that.
No, that's awesome. So can we go through, because we've only got like 13 minutes left, can we go through the videos as well and the photos that you sent through? And also we've got heaps of comments as well from what I noticed. You tried to pull them up before, but it was so in depth in our chats. We've got so many comments.
Oh, wow.
So Becca Bradley.
I remember the beach party, Becca. Oh, Becca, how traumatizing was it? Fuck.
So what happened with the beach party?
We were all the riot cops rocked up. Becca was there as well.
riot cops. Oh, yeah.
The riot cops changed me as a person. I thought I was in America.
So can you guys read about it if that's all good?
Is that my mummy? Oh, Mom, I love you, Mom.
Proud mama watching.
Oh, I love my mum so much. She's the best.
So great behind the decks, so don't worry. Ha ha ha. They're my decks. Literally a kid's toy.
Protest says you were doing great behind the decks, so don't worry.
Yeah, shout out to Barnes as well. Who's
Shout out to Tash, who's playing her first set.
Yeah, Tash. Is it Fauna? Yeah, Tash. Fauna.
Fauna.
Yep.
Okay.
So Tash just there, Natasha Stonehouse, this bad bitch. She's going to be playing her first set at Bad Hair Day. So any of you groovers who are not going to Blazing Swan, you better be a Bad Hair Day to support that mad queen. Otherwise, issues. See you in the dirt.
See you in the dirt. Anya Katie
Bring your
by
best
Luke.
gremlins.
Yeah. Phil, well said.
Pedro, oh my uncle.
No.
It's the Brisbane uncle.
Uncle Pedro.
Not the Brisbane uncle who's getting married. He's already married. Uncle Pedro.
So we got Isaac as well. Oh damn, I lost track of time and I only just tuned in. Sorry, go.
Oh, he's a cutie. D4 Slayer.
Oh, the booties come out during Katie's set.
The booties?
The booties come out.
We know when Katie started to play, we're all chilling at camp, and then it just switches, and I'm like, that's Katie. And we all like, let's go, because booty bouncing.
It really, and I
Okay,
feel like it really, it invigorates the other females to be like, oh, what this? Bass face.
Very, very nice.
I'll bring her. She can be in my dance party while you pump it out. Ain't no sunshine. Oh, Mom. I'll play that song on repeat for you.
So with your music style as well, do you know of any other DJs within Perth that play similar music to you, or because I've never heard of Brazilian bass before.
Who else plays BassHouse Tech House? I feel like there's a few DJs who dabble in it. And will play a set here and there. But besides Josie, I don't know any other
for the Bush Doof community. And
yeah. There'll be a few who will dabble in the BassHouse world, but they They don't stay, but they should stay because we need more BassHouse people.
Yeah. It's pretty cool though. It's
Go
like you found your
Freya.
niche in a way.
Oh, the Cactus Crew, Tracy. Yeah, I'm glad you remember too. Cool.
No, that's awesome. That's really cool. So
That was a mental set.
Yeah.
It was indeed.
So your next, like, so after your life things are kind of a bit
Yep.
over, then you want to kind of just like go head first back into the music?
Oh, absolutely,
or? Yeah.
absolutely. I want to go back to like doing a couple of sets every single weekend.
So wait, whereabouts is this?
This
then?
was for Mr. Traumies, Mr. Traumatic. I got a last minute booking.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Where
because
was-
of dramas. There was other dramas. Unfortunately, someone lost a set and I got their set, and
Okay.
it sucks that I happened to get another person's set. But I'm also not going to say no to
of course,
you know,
yeah.
furthering my career.
Yeah, a gig is a gig.
A gig is a gig. And yeah, so I did BassHouse, and then I had to switch to drum and bass last minute. And I haven't done that since I first started DJing. Because when I first started DJing, I'd play BassHouse and then switch into drum and bass. But let me tell you now, any DJ who does fucking drum and bass, you guys are fucking mad cunts, because that shit is so
fast.
exhausting. And you can't just stand there and like groove and be too cool for school. You got to be like, ba, ba, ba.
Yeah.
I do not have the energy for that, and I got mad respects for y'all, because literally even just 15 minutes of drum and bassing, I was like fighting for my life.
And so this is still Mr. Traumatic here?
Yeah, this is Mr.
So where was
Thomas.
that? Was
this
that
was at Metropolis Freo.
Metropolis Freo? Okay.
So this was the very first set, and within like I'd say 20 minutes, it was getting the bottom floor was packed.
This was the opening set.
Yeah,
it was
opening
that
set.
packed.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was really
That's
packed.
not bad at all.
And then by the second set, which was Begsy,
yeah,
slayed it. By the
Yeah.
way,
very nice. Yeah.
his set, even the top floor was getting busy.
Mm.
Like it got busy quickly, and it got to the point where you literally were like, okay, I'm not walking anymore. I'm just being like moved by human bodies to get to the next spot.
No, very cool.
It was a night. And I got mad respects, because the people who threw it, this was their first event, and they got Mr. Traumatic over. So it's pretty
Yeah, it's pretty big.
done to be able to get him over, and they
That's
were
it.
speaking directly to him because he
Yeah.
doesn't have a manager.
Doesn't have a manager. He does it himself.
So he was speaking directly to
That's
Mr.
a big job
Traumatic.
in
So
itself.
that's pretty
Like,
cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what other clubs and pubs or other clubs you've played at then? If you
So
played
I've
at
played
Metro's
at Metropolis. I've played at Metros.
Yeah.
I've played Sewing Room. I've played. What am I forgetting? No.
Ash is just giggling in the corner.
Oh yeah.
The what?
Yeah. So for a while there, I was actually playing at a sex club.
A sex club.
Yeah, I was DJing at a sex club.
What is
but
that? What?
It was called Club 103, but I quickly stopped playing there because firstly, the guy who was hiring me was trying to fucking dog me on my pay. So F you for doing that, and I hope you enjoyed my sweet little message. And secondly, they were being terrible to the girls who they're hiring, and I'm sorry. If you
Right,
expect-
hiring?
Yeah, because there's females who work there.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah?
I thought you meant it's like they're hiring girls to go to the events.
No, they
What?
they pay girls to do the tings around. Now I don't know if it's the same for all the girls, but I know specifically one of the girls was getting told you'll get X amount per night, and then she'd go to get that money, wouldn't be given it.
Wow. That's terrible.
And now, as a female DJ, I cannot stand for that. So I pretty quickly stopped working there.
But what was it like DJing at a sex club?
It was interesting.
It's like whilst you're playing music, people are just getting it on. In
Oh
front
fuck
of you.
yeah! And there's porn everywhere, and there's. It was interesting. It was part of the job.
Yeah.
And it was good. What was good though was because I look the way I look and I hold myself the way I hold myself. I found that I wasn't getting too many issues with people like trying to talk to me, and if I did, I'd just like kind of tell them to fuck off. I was
'cause
pretty.
you're there to
you
work,
had to be a little bit more aggressive because
Yeah.
it is a very.
Yeah, you were
type
there
of
for
person.
work, not play.
Yeah.
You were there for.
And it was good because the first time I went, there was like more my age people there. There was some doofers there and stuff. But the few other shifts I did after that, I was like, oh, okay, this is not what I thought.
Yeah, this is a orgy.
Yeah. And I'm all for like open sex. I'm all for if you're into that, all gravy. But I think you also got to really look at is everyone being treated fairly? Is everyone being treated with equity? And is it an empowering place for everyone there? It's that whole idea, same with the joke. If not everyone's laughing at that joke, it's actually not a joke. You're being mean.
That's it. Yeah.
So like, I think it's that same mentality. If everyone's not being treated equally, it's not being treated fairly. It's actually not. That's not a fun place. That's actually hell for someone.
Yeah, it could.
So
100%.
working there, I did a few. I'd say max 3 shifts, and I was like,
Yeah, I'm out.
bye. Thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Career diversity.
Yeah. So that's on the list too.
Yeah.
Where else have I played? Sewing room, huh?
Frio.
Where was the other place in
Frio
Frio?
Social.
Oh yeah, Frio Social.
Right, inside or the outside?
Outside bit.
Yeah, that's a good
Yep.
spot, yeah.
I like it. As a sweaty girl, anything outside for me is like, oh, that's hot. I like that. Honestly, I've never experienced like a near heat wave death stroke than playing at Mr. Traumatic. The pure heat at the top of Metropolis Frio on the like DJ area. Wow, they've got fans going too, and I'm still
Yeah.
like, this is. Am I in?
Hot.
Am I in Byron Bay? Because fuck, it's sweaty McGee. It's humid.
So what about some of the other photos and videos as well? Let's have a look at. So that's still Mr. Traumatic. Whereabouts is this?
Is that the Twisted Jar one? Is that with yeah?
Yeah, that's the Twisted
So
one.
this is the one that I still went off chops. This was the last one me and Josie did. Oh, this might be when is this when Marco's playing? Because Marco played after us. Oh no, Marco's there. Then who's playing? Or maybe we ran off. Yeah, that's also a possibility that we ran off to come dance in the crowd. Yeah, see, that's Maddie. That's Maddie storming on top there. See, this is why I love doing these sort of ones, because it would be all the girls storming at the front. Big fucking feminine power energy.
Shout out to Notorious MAD.
Notorious MAD representing in the...
Also a single DJ.
Notorious
Notorious
MAD?
MAD.
Okay.
Dons of the Dons.
Yeah, she's good, yeah.
She's a
yeah.
weapon. She's
All
over
right.
in Omeo in Victoria, East Coast, wherever.
Like, she visits over here quite often?
No,
or?
she used to live here.
Okay,
She's
yep.
just moved over there.
Yep.
But yeah, she's a weapon. Absolute weapon.
Look at the feminine power there. She's just got him by the head.
Yeah, it's the vibe, you know?
It's like it's off though.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's giving feral grim, but also like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So how's Graham? What more
Poppin'.
videos? Like,
that's our tribe. It's
That's Tash. That's going to be Bad Boy Tash playing at first set. Do you remember when she got up there?
Yeah.
Wow!
do we have any more videos? Or?
Oh, it's very
that's it. That's
cool.
all the
You
photos.
don't need no more.
Yeah. And so, like, what are some events that are coming up for Bush Doofs? Like, because I mean, sometimes they're quite in the DL and. Right.
I don't. Yeah. So the next one's the Easter weekend. I'm not at that because I'm at Blazing, but that's
Yeah,
Bad
yeah.
Hair Day.
Okay. You're going Ash or?
Yes.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
I mean, if you know him, hit up Tyron. But if you don't know him, then find someone who does. Go through the network. But yeah, honestly, highly recommend if you're not going to Blaze, hit that up. It's a vibe. It gives you the same fucking like, woohoo, I get to do the Blaze feeling without also the other sides of having to get to Blaze.
Yeah.
But yeah, highly recommend. And then besides Bad Hair Day, I was gonna say, I don't even know. I got to be honest. This last year, I've had to step back a little bit from Doofs because
Yeah, just life stuff. Yeah.
life stuff, you know, bit of dramas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. I got enough drama in my real life. I don't need all that extra stuff.
No, that's fair. That's completely fair.
And I'm also very aware of the fact that I'm a person who, like, you know, I can't really help but be involved. So if someone's like, "Oh, this is what's going on,"
Yeah.
I can't help but be like, "How can I help?" You know,
Yeah,
so
being a care bear in a way, wanting to
being
help
aware
out
of that and
yeah.
knowing that I'm not very good at like setting those boundaries, then maybe I just need to like step back for a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides Bad Hair Day, I guess it's like it'll be like the Twisted Jar party.
But then, so how does like someone that's never really like, say, someone that's watching that has never been to a bush doof before, how would they get involved with the community to try and
Find someone
their
who's a
tribe?
doofer.
Just find a
Yep,
doofer.
and say, hey, I would really like to get involved. It's really important to, when you ask a doofer that you want to go to a doof, suss what sort of person you're asking. And I don't mean this in like a derogatory way, but you will find there'll be different vibes of people at certain different crews, which is fine. We all click and flow and vibe differently. If you're wanting like a really more family event, there'll be certain crews that are better for you. If you're wanting a real like, I want to be off chops, you know, off my bloody,
cowboy,
off my ning nongs, like
yeah.
yeehaw, then
Yeah.
there'll be certain parties that are better suited for that vibe. So I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
important to also grasp who you're asking. Like, trying to think. I feel like the Twisted Jar party, it's the last one for the year. I feel like would be a really good one to go to just because it is going to be the last one. Same with Halloween, although Halloween's more of a festival than a
Yeah.
doof because of the legality version.
Yep.
But yeah, I think they'd be really good ones to support.
We have a New Year's
There'll be New Year's.
Evolution.
Yeah, there's Evo and Lost in Between, which is what I played for this year, just been. Trying to to think what else.
They'll pop up as they come.
Yeah, and there's a lot of littler crews I have noticed popping up with some new parties here and there.
Yeah.
Which again, that happens with the cyclic of like the big crews that are like finishing up this year. The smaller crews will start doing more. And actually, I have noticed there's another $10 party that came up recently.
A $10?
A $10 party. I felt like I was back in bloody 2019 again.
$10 back.
$10 party. Let's go.
So it's $10 entry fee? Or?
Yeah, because
Okay,
so back when I first started doing, like every party was $10. Some were $20, and then the really expensive ones were like $30.
Really?
Like that was expensive. And then when $50.
Yeah, it makes sense. I always thought they were just free though.
No, and then when $50 started being a thing, it was a bit like, oh, we're getting a bit more expensive. But now your 3-day parties are like $80.
Yeah.
Which I understand, inflation, all these things. But also to see a $10 party again, that tickled my soul. That made, I don't know who's throwing it. I really hope it's good cunts. That is another thing. There are certain people out there who are actually started being a lot more open and honest with bad things and the bad things that are happening within Doof crews and stuff. And I have mad respect for them because it's not easy talking about that stuff, particularly when you're in that community because you feel like you could be isolated or whatever.
Yeah.
Mad respects, particularly when it comes down to safety and the safety of your punters and your DJs, etc. Mad respect.
Because I can imagine it's one of those things where you want to make sure that everyone leaves your party going, I had a great time.
Yes.
I can't wait for the next one.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You don't want them going, I had a bad time. I'm going to tell my friends
Yes.
and boycott the event. Like,
Exactly.
It'd just
So-
be bad. Like, terrible.
Yeah, so yeah, again, $10 party, how cool, just fingers crossed.
Yeah.
For a
Well, it's
good
just
crew.
like what Ash said because she doesn't have a mic. But, but as she said as well, it's like it costs a lot to get this stuff out there.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah,
So-
and then because it's not just getting stuff out there, like in terms of fuel to get out there, it's fuel to run the Jennies.
Yeah.
It's all the things in between.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. DJs
Here's the
getting
thing
paid.
though with that though, that I used to talk about this a lot where I was like, yeah, but the DJs they're paying, they're this, they're all right, I'm going to be straight up here.
Yeah.
Crews, how many of your DJs are you actually paying and how many of them have a particular appendage between their legs? Okay, because that means you're not actually paying your crew, you're paying your mates.
So-
It's a different story.
So what do you mean? So it's
There's certain crews that have a notorious
just boys club.
boys club when it comes to getting good set times, when it comes to getting paid, all these sort of things. There is certain crews that really fall into the boys club, and if you want better for your crews and you want to also, my issue is if you say something, you got to do it.
Yeah.
So I'd rather you actually never say to me, I'm for quality, I'm for like all support and in the bush, and then you do that stuff, I'll be like, cool, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you say to me, I'm all for equality, I'm all for equal pay, I'm all for this, and then I find out you as a crew is not doing that, it actually cuts me so deep.
I'm not surprised.
It cuts
Yeah,
me
it's
so
terrible.
deep.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing about the DJs being paid. Yes, some DJs get paid, but in my experience, there's a lot of DJs who aren't being paid, and also there's some crews who are going to say things like, oh, well, they've never asked to be paid. Okay. But
That's
here's
not
the
on,
thing.
though. Yeah.
Here's the thing. If you're starting off as a new DJ, you're not going to ask to be paid.
Yeah, 'cause you
Once
don't
you've been
know,
playing and supporting these crews for X amount of time as a DJ, I think there should be some form of the crew who goes, hey, man, thank you so much for all your support after all this time. We'd like to do X, Y, Z for you.
Yeah.
Big difference. Again, Begsy and Basic, when they were throwing Beg Day, they were like that. Every party, they were like, we made this much, this is the amount we could give you. Sometimes it was $5, sometimes it was $50.
Yeah,
One
that's
time
good
it was
though.
$80, you know what I mean? But they were so open, honest, and transparent about how much they made, where the money was going.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of other crews could really do that, and it actually wouldn't be as big of a disaster as maybe they think it will be. It'll actually benefit them so much, and
That's
people will
honest,
support
though.
them
That's
so much.
great though. Being
Yeah.
able to say it's like, well, we made this amount of profit, we can only give you $10.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for being
Yeah.
a part of it though.
Mad Hatters, they have always, in my experience, they have always been really honest and transparent.
Yeah.
A lot of my dealings have been with Milan, and she has always been one of those people who will be like, yep, for that, you know, that massive Mad Hatters party, the illegal one where I played the 2020 where I said there's like 3,000 people.
Oh yeah.
That party, at the end of it, they literally said, we've made this much. Every single person is getting a minimum payment of $50. Everyone got that minimum payment.
That's
and it was
so good.
And it was done in a group chat, so there was no...
Yeah, no ifs, no buts.
Yes,
There's
it
no,
was
like,
all open
miscommunication.
transparency, and
Yeah.
that, mad respects.
That's good.
Because
That's really
they
good.
could have walked away with a lot of money from that, and they paid as far as I'm aware, I know they paid everyone on that second stage.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they paid everyone on the first
But
stage.
that's it. That's where the community's got to work together.
Absolutely. Have to work
together. Keep the events going. Keep the party happening.
And to have a good community.
Yeah.
Because it's really like every doofer will talk to you about how good the party is, but all of us actually care about how good that community is. To have that good community, though, you've got to give and receive in a way that's fair for everyone.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether it comes to like your DJs, your flow artists, whatever it may be, transparency and openness goes such a long way.
That's it.
Such a long way.
And especially the dancers
half the
as well,
time it's not even about the actual physical act of here is this dollar amount of dollar. It's the act of going, I see you, I acknowledge you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time and effort.
Yeah, the gratification.
Here's what I can. Yeah. Massive difference.
That's like what I was about to say with like the dancers and stuff like that, and the flow
artists don't get paid.
That's it.
They don't get paid.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, I don't know any flow artist that's been paid besides
Really?
the ones who are doing like, you know, going interstate and stuff.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, if anyone wants to comment and say otherwise, no flow artist I know has been paid within the purse scene.
Because that is one of those things where it's like, if you don't have that extra level of talent, it adds to the whole vibe. Right?
It does.
Having flow artists,
It
dancers,
sets it up. It
fire
creates all
ploy,
these
this
things.
and that.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, it's the same thing with even building the stages and everything like that. If you just have just like a gazebo, it'd still be fun. But then having like what Pachamama does is like the full in the womb thing.
Oh my gosh,
it just gives off that like
visually
this is,
stunning.
Yeah, this is a party. Like, see if you can quickly find it. Yeah, we got to wrap it up though because we are a little bit over time, but it's fun though. But so that because Pachamama have been going for ages, and then they've got the in the womb stage.
Into the womb's
Into the
amazing.
womb,
I took Freya to one of those.
Yeah.
Like one of the best pictures ever is there's the 4 girls and they're like running off into the forest all holding hands.
Pachamama.
No, that was
And it's 2 words. So yeah, there you go first. Oh no, it's 1 word. Okay.
I don't think it's that one.
Damn, we've got 11 people watching right now.
I don't think it's
Hi,
that.
11 people. Oh, Zoe's just sent me a message. I'm doing her birthday gig.
That's not the right Pachamama one.
Right, could you close? That's business on the right hand side. Can you close that message? Yeah, that's a gig, a function I'm doing on Saturday. That's so good.
We got Pachamama. That's it.
Thank you so much for everyone watching, by the way.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So then, that's it. So Pachamama, but see if you can find the photos and go photos and see if you can pull up their stage. Honestly, for what she does, like I love Nikki so much for just doing the coolest shit out.
OG.
Yeah. To help out, help out the girl community and just get, just anybody.
That one with the sunset. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. For
Tell me that is not the
stage.
bee's fucking knees.
Yeah. That is so cool. And she puts her heart and soul into it.
Oh,
and
truly does.
Pays, yeah, it pays off. Honestly, a wonderful human being. She's amazing. And we need more people like her.
Oh, absolutely.
We really do.
Consistent queen.
Yeah. That's
Ooh, sick tune.
it. Yeah, music in the background. But so we might as well wrap it up because we're like 10 minutes over. But thank you so much for coming
Thanks
on.
for having me. This was
been,
sick.
Yeah, it's been good,
This was
right?
good. This was way less awkward than I thought being on camera
that's
would be.
Yeah. See,
So good.
look, I'll just say it for everyone who's watching right now. It's one of those things where majority of the people that come on before we go live, they're a bit anxious, they're a bit worried.
definitely.
Because it's like, we're going live on camera.
Oh, yeah.
But then at the same time, we just get into it and we just have fun with it.
Yeah, it becomes
just-
way more just chatting and hanging out than like,
That's
oh,
it,
I'm on
having a
camera
laugh.
right now.
Yeah, having a
Yeah.
laugh, having a good banter, and then just seeing where it goes. So,
This was sick.
see, look, Josh is like, you're a natural. There you go.
Ah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, so Josh Betts,
shout out, Josh.
that's one of the people of the Twilight reality productions
Oh, it's
who
a
did Mr.
Ballamos.
Traumatic.
Oh, Ballamos. Yeah, no, those guys. I interviewed those guys, honestly.
I want my $10 back.
yes.
Those guys are awesome. Ballamos are awesome dudes.
Okay, cool. That's good to know.
Yeah, honestly, for what they're doing, I reckon they're going to be big. They're going to be
Because I didn't
big.
know who was running it, so I didn't want to just straight up be like, yeah, solid crew. And then someone messaged me being like, Katie, what have you done?
No, honestly, Ballamos, like they're.
There you go.
so
You got
good.
you got his tick of approval there.
And what other comments do we have quickly as well?
Go Betsy. Also, Betsy, I highly recommend following Twilight reality productions. They'll be bringing over some more Dons of the Dons D&B artists.
Oh.
Just a little sneaky peek there.
Yeah.
Something a bit devilish I did here.
But honestly, thank you so much for coming on, though.
Thank you. This is
has been
sick.
good. And as I said, like when I want to do that panel.
Yeah.
And then I'd love to have you on.
I'd love to be on it too.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. All right. Well, so cheers.
Cheers.
And then,
Thanks, guys.
and so next week we have.
Who's the next Dawns?
Let's have a look.
Dawns.
What is the date today? Next week we are. So we've got Sylvia coming on. So she's Colombian. I actually it's quite funny how I met her actually. So a friend of mine, he was doing a uni project, and so the uni project is where he's doing like radio and like radio presentation or whatever. But he got me on to he wanted to interview me. And so it was quite funny because it's like he was iffing and umming and he's like a little bit like he was nervous. But because I just went in there just all natural and just had fun with it, he got a high distinction.
Hey!
And he all like I know
HD, nice.
that's it. And he's telling it, it's all because of me. It's all because of me. I'm like, nah, dude, I just fucking went in there and had a yarn with you. That's all I did. But then, so he also had another guest, and Sylvia was there. So she's Colombian born, and she's come over here, and now she's in bands. She plays guitar, all sorts of stuff. She sings and everything like that. But she has a lot to do with like Colombian music as well, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to be able to dive into just the whole world of Colombia and the music style in Colombia.
That's like a whole treasure trove in itself.
It's going to be
my
so
God.
much fun. I actually honestly
I want the
cannot
tea
wait.
and receipts for that one. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
So that will be next week Wednesday, because on Thursday is the day before Good Friday, and I'm planning on going out and getting a bit tipsy.
Bit squiggly.
Yeah, a little bit squiggly. Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh,
but
there's a Catholic party. Yes.
You mean like our birthday dinner?
No, at Blazing Swan. But also we had a birthday do for Kath and Kim, the two of us.
Kath and Kim?
Yeah.
it's our birthdays.
Look at my, look at my, look at my. I've got one word to say to you.
Can we just quickly pull up Kath and Kim?
Oh, yes,
Just before we
boys.
finish.
Oh, I recently watched the
scene do
scene
you
where
want?
Kath
Yeah,
does the dance
what-
with Michael Bublé and Kel's like fighting over it
Wait,
with
what
Michael
scene is that?
Bublé.
We'll pull that one up.
That's
Put
put Kath and Kim, Michael Bublé. It'll change you.
you sure you don't want-
It'll ill you.
Oh, no, not
the,
Catholic Kim's.
Catholic?
Kath
and Kim.
Yeah, Kath and Kim.
Catholic Kim's.
Are you sure
was
you
like
don't want the
Catholic.
Eric Banner fight at the train station?
Oh yeah, no. Oh,
Good.
or the Sandy Freckle one?
no, fuck Sandy Freckle. He's a dog.
He's a mole.
He's a mole. He's a real mole. That one. He ain't no
You're not
freckle.
a freckle, you're a mole.
You're a mole.
Oh, you might have to go on Google maybe.
Nah, surely I can know. It's surely it's that second one.
That second one?
Yeah, the second one.
Nah, that's just Michael Boobles.
Yeah, that's it.
It's got to be with Kath and Kim though. It can't just be him singing Sway. I don't give a fuck about just Michael Bublé. My mum would though.
But no, I do it on Firefox. It's just because Microsoft Edge have
Oh, because it's
Bing thing.
bingo bongo lame.
Bingo bongo, that's it, yeah.
Come on, give it to me.
Might be that first one.
I swear it's not. Are you looking on YouTube? Why is this coming out with TikTok?
Yeah, go
I'm a
on
TikTok girl,
YouTube.
and even then I'm like, why? Here we go. Come on, Michael Bublé. Oh my God, it's got to be that third one. Surely.
The second one?
No, that's them in the bar. Why would they do?
Or maybe
me
the
like
Eric
that?
Banner one? Or
There's a conspiracy here.
There is a conspiracy. Try
Well-
try that third one. Or is that just him singing Sway? I'll actually cry if it's just him singing Sway.
It's not.
maybe just like the Effluent Life, the Eric Banner one, just there. Because if we can't find it. Oh, is it?
No.
Okay.
I believe Our Effluent Life is the recap they did like a couple of years later.
But yeah, because Kath and Kim were it's very
I've got it
Australian.
tattooed on me.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Australian culture.
Yeah, Australian
It's on my
culture. That's it. There you go.
Just sitting there having a fag. It says, give it a bone, please. You're adding to my stress levels.
They need to actually just add that to the.
Ah, there it is! Ah! Iconic.
Oh, there you go. Thor.
I could watch Kath and Kim to the dad die.
That's all we did on our birthday. Doof. Green chair.
Oh,
One of the
yep.
the speaker system to ourselves. Shout out to Serenity.
Yep.
And ReEntry.
No, very
One of
nice.
the most just rewatchable Australian shows.
It's iconic. I've literally got 2 tattoos,
It's an
actually.
education.
Education, yeah.
It's an education.
Because I've heard of it, I've just never watched it.
Actually, are you being dead set?
No, never watched
You
it.
actually have
I know,
homework?
I know.
It's fine.
You are. It's on Netflix, and you have homework.
Look up rave scene.
Oh my god,
Right.
that's the best bit of. Is this house? Is it house? Is it Britney? Is it Spears? Britney Spears? Asparagus Spears?
And they switch personalities.
you took out the
Oh
second one.
yes!
Yes, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
This is me. You would have seen this.
Let's go.
Yeah.
As a gift.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm pause the music.
Yeah, just play it.
Sharon. So I've never got the video.
Me.
I probably fit more cat one. Oh, that's me.
That's you, 100%. That's me off with the fairies. That's you, 100%.
Yeah.
The glow stick around the neck.
Gotta find me somehow.
Oh my god.
The cat's the mum. Is this you traumatic?
Yeah, that was me in traumatic. Oh, so good.
That's very cool. But alright.
Amazing.
You have to watch it. It's iconic.
Cheers so much for coming on, though.
Thanks so much for having me. This was sick.
Yeah, and then we'll see you when you. I'll probably see you sometime soon. 'Cause
My
you always
friends
come and
just
hang out.
commented on here going, Catholic Kim.
Very nice, yeah.
I
There you
kind
go.
of want to get Catholic Kim tattooed on me now.
Catholic
Yeah,
Kim.
helping like,
Like,
yes.
Very
Catholic
nice.
Kim.
look at boy.
Look at boy.
Alright, so we'll see you guys next week Wednesday, alright? Cheers
Sick.
for tuning in. Cheers for watching and
Thanks,
commenting.
guys. That was rad.
Yeah. Alright, catches.
No.
Is that it?